Countries across the European Union celebrated Europe Day on Saturday. It marks the day in 1950 when countries including Belgium, France and West Germany decided to pool coal and steel resources in a bid to prevent further wars. It lay the foundation for today's European Union. To mark the occasion under lockdown, ambassadors of the 27-member countries in Brussels sent out video messages. Many spoke of the solidarity between the nations in fighting a common enemy, the coronavirus. It comes as the Spanish government announced that part of the country will progress to the next phase of easing of restrictions on Monday, which includes the partial reopening of bars, restaurants and places of worship.
In its entirety, just over half of the total population of Spain, that's about 51% of our citizens, are in a position where, due to the fact that they live in a territory that can move into Phase 1, will be under the corresponding conditions for Phase 1 from Monday.
Spain's two biggest cities, Madrid and Barcelona, account for nearly half of Spain's cases of the virus and do not currently meet the government's criteria for easing measures. Neighboring France will also see a partial lifting of their 8-week lockdown on Monday, with many shops reopening and people allowed out without needing a permit. Germany, which began to reopen 2 weeks ago, saw a rise of more than 1,250 confirmed cases of COVID-19 on Friday, prompting concerns that lockdown measures could be reimposed in some parts of the country. Berlin and the heads of the 16 federal states have agreed to reimpose restrictions if the number of new cases hits 50 per 100,000 people over a consecutive 7-day period. Further easing is expected across the country on Monday, with more schools reopening. Also here in Germany, local media is reporting on the findings of a German spy agency that casts doubt on U.S. allegations that COVID-19 originated in a Chinese laboratory. According to the report, none of the members of an international intelligence alliance could offer any support or evidence that backed up the U.S. claims. On Friday, the Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz also spoke up against the engagement in any blame game.
I think it's important to criticise oneself and ask what could have been done better, but I think it's wrong to act as if there was one single place which is responsible for this worldwide pandemic. It is a global pandemic, and yes, in Europe the sickness has spread where lots of people came together, but because of the season, those were predominantly in winter tourism areas in Austria, Switzerland and Italy.
This year's Europe Day celebrations comes at a time when the coronavirus pandemic is creating tension for traditional allies and rewriting allegiances.